Welcome to Tynecastle, a massive day for Scottish football. Steve Clarke's senior side with the chance to make it to next summer's European Championships when they take on Serbia later. But don't underestimate the importance of this match. Scotland's Under-21s up against Croatia, and Scott Gilmour's men have put themselves in with a real chance of making a major tournament of their own. Good afternoon from me, Andrew McLean, and with just 2 games to go of these Euro 2021 qualifiers, let's have a look at the results that got us to where we are today. Well, a solid start against San Marino and that big win away to Croatia on match day 2. A bit of a dip in the middle with those 2 draws and that late defeat to Greece here at Tynecastle, but since we got back underway after lockdown, what a run it's been. That 1-0 win away to Lithuania, a 2-0 win against the Czech Republic, and that emphatic victory away to San Marino. And just 2 games left to go as Scotland look to seal a spot at next summer's tournament in Hungary and Slovenia. In terms of the league table, well, a win for Scotland today would put them at the top and in the driving seat with 1 match left, as they've got a game in hand on the Czech Republic above them. The 9 group winners qualify automatically, and the best 5 runners-up will also make it to the finals. Croatia just 1 point behind Scotland, and only 1 team has scored more goals than them in this whole qualifying campaign, but Scotland boasting a brilliant defensive record, just 2 goals conceded in the 8 games so far. Delighted to say I'm joined by former Scotland international Darren Jackson. Darren, just how important is that game today?
It's extremely important. I think it's an important day for Scottish football in a whole. Obviously the national team, we're hoping 23 years we can qualify tonight, and then the 21s, which is going to be fantastic for the boys. I think it's 26 years since we've qualified, so we hopefully can get a result. I was at the Lithuania game and the Greece game, which were obviously disappointing, but the boys have come back fantastically well, and it's just, listen, it's probably taken, as we say, 26 years, but that's I've worked in the system with the 19s, and it's taken Malky time to get here. It's been a structure, it's been the style that he wants to implement on every age group from the 17s, 19s, 21s, and you're getting it fruition now, and how we've got a chance of qualifying tonight.
We hear Scott Gilmour talk about the development of the players and how that's the most important thing, more important than results at this level, but what an achievement it would be to make it to a major tournament, and what an experience for these players.
Listen, of course it is all about development, and as I said about the structure that Malky set out, that the 17s, 19s and 21s play the same style, and obviously Brian's done exceptionally well with the 17s, Starkey with the 19s, and obviously Scott and Housty with the 21s. It's all about development. It's all about them being ready to go and play for the national team. But we would like success. We've had success in the past. The coaches and the Malky and the players would love success, especially tonight.
Coming into this one off the back of 3 wins as well on the bounce. Does that momentum carry on in international football when you've got these big breaks?
100%, because when the boys get together, they'll be desperate to come up and not be injured, be part of it, because they know that it doesn't matter what team you're playing for. When you're on a winning run, you want to be part of it. And even the subs, some might be disappointed they're not playing and all that, but everyone wants to be part of this, and especially tonight when they can go top of the section.
And no matter what level you're at, when the players are pulling on these shirts for Scotland, they know what it means to represent their country.
Well, yeah, I was very lucky to do it 28 times, and it was amazing. And it doesn't matter what level you're playing at, you're part of the best crop of kids playing tonight, so that must give you a boost.
What do you make of this current crop of players that Scott Gilmour's working with?
I think they're excellent. I worked with a few of them with the 19s, but he's got a good squad together, and most of them are playing first team football, which is very, very good for obviously Scott and Housty and obviously Malky, because they're up to the tempo that they know what's expected of them at first team level. So when they come to the 21s, it's not going to be totally different to them. So that's really, really important that they are playing first team football, and as I say, you see that in results.
And certainly a good level of opposition today as well.
A great level of opposition. I mean, when you look over the course that we've played Croatia, we've beaten Croatia, we've beaten Brazil, we've beaten Spain, we've beaten Holland and Germany. So, but this is going to be a top opposition. I've watched the game over there, and I've been kind of tipped off by a couple of players, Moro, Sverko, Sosa, the left back. So, but listen, they'll be full of the 11 of them will be good players. We need to be on top of our game tonight.
Well, we'll confirm the team news for you shortly, but a man who is back in the squad after an injury layoff is Billy Gilmour. So we caught up with him earlier this week to get his thoughts on his recovery, his Chelsea career, qualification and playing for the 21s.
Billy, thanks a lot for joining us. How does it feel to be back involved in the Scotland camp?
Yeah, it's amazing to be back with the squad. I'm looking forward to these games, been out for a long time, so can't wait to get back running and hopefully help the team qualify.
And you sustained an injury in July. How's recovery been? Because it was a terrible time for you to get an injury just as you were doing so well for Chelsea.
Yeah, it wasn't the best timing. Been out for 4 months with my meniscus, my right knee. The recovery's been going well. Back training with the team and then come here to get some minutes hopefully.
And you must be really happy with how you've been doing at Chelsea recently. You've been playing in the first team and doing well.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, so it's a great experience, great for my development to go and play with these players, world-class players. So many trophies in there and I'm learning every day.
And now with Scotland Under-21s, just 2 games away from potential qualification, what would it mean for this group of players to reach a Euros?
Yeah, it will be massive. Hopefully we can go and do it. It's been a long time since an Under-21 team's qualified, so it'd be good to go make some history.
And have you been watching the last few games? They've obviously been doing really well. Your mate Fraser Hornby scoring all the goals.
Yeah, I've been watching it, so I have been getting sent live streams from Costa, so I've been keeping up with the boys and watching it, and Fraser's broke the record for the most goals and hopefully that can continue.
How excited are you to link up with guys like him? Because you're friends with a lot of the players in the squad, aren't you?
Yeah, we're all a very close group. We're familiar with how we play with each other, so it's good when you come away with the squad, and that's the best thing, good team spirit.
There's a lot of experience in the squad in terms of the players and the level that they're playing at. How highly do you rate this current group of players? Yeah,
massive experience in this group, likes of Alan Campbell, Ryan Poitras. Great players who are playing regularly at the club, so with their experience coming in here, it helps a lot of us.
And this is a huge week for Scotland overall. The 21s are 2 games away from qualifying, the men's are only 1 game away. How big an incentive is that for both teams to qualify?
Yeah, it's massive for the countries. Hopefully the first team can go and qualify, and with us we've got 2 games where we've got a really good chance of going and qualifying and making some history.
How determined are you to make that step up to the first team? Because it's a pathway that a lot of the players that you just mentioned earlier have made.
Yeah, it's something that I'm really looking forward to. Hopefully, if I keep continuing the way I'm training at club and playing at club, I'll get my chance. But I'm a 21s player, and for the time being, I want to qualify for the 21s and do my best for the team.
How proud are you to play for Scotland? Obviously, you've done all the age groups, but how proud are you to play for the country?
I love coming away with the Scotland national team, so I do it whatever age it is. Proud to represent the team and go away and do well. And every time I've went away with Scotland, the competitions we've got, we've not quite made the qualifiers yet, but this camp's been really good and hopefully we can make it successful.
You started out at the Scottish FA JD Performance Schools, you've played for all the age groups, now culminating in the 21s. How do you reflect on your sort of journey so far? Because you've been influenced a lot by a lot of the Scottish coaches, haven't you?
Well, that was, of course, the national anthem for Scotland, and apologies, we did miss the Croatian national anthem, which happened just before. But Darren, we saw that VT of Billy Gilmour there, such an exciting talent on the bench today, coming back from injury.
Yeah, a massive talent. I was lucky enough to work with Billy, and I knew after the first session I had with him, and that was after the warm-up. His warm-up was absolutely spot on. It was fantastic what he put into the warm-up, and it was just brilliant to see. But then when he took it into the game, it was absolutely fantastic. And I saw an interview from Frank Lampard saying, "What does Billy do best?" And he says he does the basics, and that's what Billy does. He does everything spot on. He doesn't have to look fancy. He just does everything spot on.
Well, let's have a look at the starting lineups for tonight's game. 5 changes for Scotland from that 7-0 win over San Marino. In come McCrory, Porteous, Johnson, Ferguson, Campbell and Redding. Out go Mayo, McIntyre, Irving, Turnbull, McLennan and Middleton. A lot of quality coming into this team, Darren.
Yeah, as I said, they're all playing first team football. McCrory's had a new lease of life going to Aberdeen. He's been fantastic. Lewis Ferguson, top goal scorer at Aberdeen. Alan Campbell doing exceptionally well. And of course Hornby scoring the goals that we're hoping to need. I was lucky enough to work with Fraser with the 19s, and he's definitely a huge talent.
A lot of quality in the Croatia team as well. Some players to look out for. Lovro Majer has 15 appearances at this level and 5 goals. He starts, an exciting midfield talent for them. And Sandro Kulenovic up top, 6 goals in 12 appearances at this level. Croatia with a lot of pedigree in international football. Oh,
you will, yeah. You see the national team, and it just filters down. Exceptional talent. They'll be very comfortable on the ball. They'll want the ball. They'll pass it, but we need to get about them, and we need to pass it.
The players take the knee as we continue our fight against racism. Well, the officials from Italy for today's match. Michael Fabri, the man in the middle, a man we hope we're not mentioning too much in this game, Darren.
I'm no crazy on referees, so hopefully not.
And Kulenovic gets us underway for this massive under-21 qualifier. Scotland 2 games away from a first European Championship since 1996. An exciting prospect, a good feel factor around all of Scottish football at the moment, and let's hope that the under-21s can get the result that they need today.
Of course, yes. They're up in them. You can see the 2 wide forwards dropping back in, just trying to protect the fullbacks. And Scotland and Houston will have their stall set out. They'll know how they'll have worked on it in the last few days, and the players will know what's expected of them.
Well, George Johnson just trying to keep that ball in there, but unable to, and it's going to be an early corner for the visitors. Just 45 seconds or so into the first half, and there's going to be a chance for Lovro Majer to deliver this ball in from the far side. And a big physical presence in this Scotland team as well, Darren.
Yes, that's important as well. Porteous, Hornby, Johnson, yeah, big boys, because set plays play a massive part, and most teams now have someone that can definitely deliver.
Well, it was easily dealt with by Scotland, and they forced Croatia all the way back into their own half.
So you see the 2 wide boys dropping in, and Alan Campbell just going up to kind of make it a 4-4-2 to try and stop them playing from the back.
Gvardiol, one of the Croatian centre-backs, tries to clip a ball over the top there, but it's good covering by Ryan Porteous to get in ahead of Nikola Moro, who's the Croatia captain today. The long ball forward flicked on by Fraser Hornby, and it's a real feature of this Scotland under-20 side. The physical presence of Fraser Hornby up top, who's a lot more than just a physical presence as well. 10 goals at this level. He's the all-time top goal scorer for Scotland under-21s after his hat-trick against San Marino, and he'll be full of confidence coming into this game.
Oh, 100%, yes. And the thing is, Fraser's strengths probably are not his heading. He's got a great touch. He's got great movement for a big guy. He's quicker than probably what people think, and obviously can score goals.
Well, Croatia have a chance to break forward here, and it's a nice switch over out onto the left hand side as they come forward with Bona Sosa, and it's a 1-2 with the captain Nicola Morrow, and there's a chance to get the ball into the box. It's deflected off Ross McCrory and easily into the hands of Ross Doohan, who's in goal for Scotland today. Celtic player who's on loan at Ross County this season. A bit of a tough start for him at the start of this season, wasn't starting games, but he has started Ross County's last 4 matches and seems to be the preferred choice for Scott Gilmour at the moment for the under-21 side.
Yes, he went up there. It was late in the window, so obviously the manager at Ross County had his plans set out who he was going to play, but he's bided his time and he's got in now.
A chance here possibly for Fraser Hornby to get in there. It was just nicked away by Josko Gvardiol, but it's a wasteful pass from Nejasmic in the middle of midfield, and it'll go out for a throw-in. Daniel Harvey to take this one for Scotland, starting at left back for Scott Gemmell's side today. Just looking for options. Daniel Harvey towards Fraser Hornby. Possession is turned over, and it is a free kick, a foul by Daniel Harvey, adjudged to have pulled back his man.
Yeah, it's the stupid foul. Johnson was getting over there, but obviously it's a good place to give a foul away.
Well, no real threat on either goal in the opening 4 minutes of this game so far. Both teams just getting a feel for each other as the Croatians look happy enough to get a foot on the ball and pass it around the back here. Satalo clips the ball over the top to Kalenovic, who may well keep this in. He does, and it's a dangerous ball across the face of goal, but no Croatians gambling, managing to get in the box to make the most of what was certainly a good ball across the face. But they will continue to push forward. Morrow pressed in on this side, but he's found the pass to Gvardiol. Satalo striding forward, and they'll start again, the Croatians. Patient play, Scotland organised in their shape to try and stop the breakthrough. Nathan Patterson trying to clip the ball forward to Fraser Hornby there, but it's easily gathered by Mario Vuskovic.
Even when we're at home, you're comfortable giving them the ball. They're playing about the back, and when it's time to press, that when they get in your half, that's when they've been very good. You saw that when they pressed them high up the pitch, Campbell pressed them and the boy played it out of play, so they're picking their moments when to press them.
Forced all the way back to Adrian Semper, who's in goal for the Croatians today. Plays his football for Chievo in Italy, the goalkeeper. As that's almost given away, Nathan Patterson getting a touch on it, but it's back in the possession of the away side. That ball just too high for Marin Sverko, who is playing as a right winger today for the Croatians.
You can see early on that Sosa's going to be a big player. He's really playing high up the pitch, like most fullbacks do nowadays. But he looks to be a real an outlet for them.
Playing football at a good level as well, Bona Sosa. 4 Bundesliga appearances for Stuttgart this campaign, as Scotland looked to come forward with Ross McCrory, a deep cross, which just didn't land at the feet of Patrick Redding, who was chasing in there. Daniel Harvey to take the throw in. The MK Dons man who moved there in the summer from Ayr United. Patrick Redding playing ahead of him, who is now at Ayr United after moving up from down south. Sosa looks to take on Nathan Patterson and does so well, shows good speed. Sosa, but he's not getting past Ross McCrory.
See, that's good protection from Nathan Patterson there. You see he's playing high up the pitch. He's normally a right back, but he's playing high up the pitch, and then he's going on to Ross McCrory, so it's a good partnership there.
Is that a real feature of what we're going to see from Scotland today? You look at Nathan Patterson out on the right hand side, you look at Patrick Redding out on the left hand side, guys who have played at fullback or do play at fullback for their club sides playing a bit further forward today.
Yeah, well, it gives you that protection further up the pitch. But I know Nathan from the 18s, and Nathan's got quality going forward as well. So that's why he's playing there. And you've got the assurance, obviously, McCrory, who's normally playing in the middle of the park, but he can play right back as well.
A real versatility to a lot of these Scottish players as Sosa gets in the ball on this near side. And Croatia looking to come forward, but it's well intercepted by Nathan Patterson back there doing the dirty work, and will now look to start an attack. Lewis Ferguson, who has just been bundled over there. The referee waves play on, just maybe a bit of a ticking off there from the Italian official.
Yeah, he was right to play on. Ryan Porteous had the ball, and we just have to calm down. Ryan's looking for the kind of colour pass right away. We need to try and get possession of the ball and get a few touches on the ball just now.
Croatia dominating possession so far, but a lot of that has happened in their own third or in the middle of the park, yet to really threaten this Scotland back line. Gvardiol back to his defensive partner Vuskovic, who looks for the long ball over the top, and the touch just isn't there for Maren Sverko, but he did get in behind Daniel Harvey.
He did. Daniel Harvey got caught the wrong side, and he didn't know where he was there, but luckily it was too long and it ran out of play. We just have to watch that. You just have to watch your wide boy, make sure your body shape's right, that you understand the run he's going to make.
We've not seen too much from the Scotland midfield so far. The game has passed them by, really. A few balls over the top from the Croatians, but you look at Lewis Ferguson, Alan Campbell, two guys with so much experience at club level.
Oh, 100%. I've watched Alan. He's done extremely well for Motherwell, and of course Lewis has been incredible. Aberdeen's top goal scorer. He's obviously playing deeper today, but he can play in that position. Obviously it's in numbers now. Lewis can be the 6 defensively, or he could be the 10 getting in the holes.
Well, Darko Najasmic just fouled there by Alan Campbell, just inside the Croatia half. They'll have a free kick. Scotland will reset as Croatia attempt to unlock this robust Scotland shape, which is yet to budge so far in this match. Gvardiol.
Najasmic looks the one who they're looking to get on the ball and make the passes. He looks definitely the playmaker.
Sotalo. Gvardiol, who it's a heavy touch from Gvardiol, and Alan Campbell's touch just isn't able to make it to Nathan Patterson, and it's well tidied up by Lovro Mayer. Normally a creative type in the final third, but doing good work there to retain possession. Yeah,
we're just not getting a hold of the ball like Alan there. He's trying to play a ball into Nathan, and it was just too short. We need to try and get a hold of the ball. We need to try and get a few touches of the ball. They're having actually too much of the ball. They're not actually causing us problems, but they're having too many touches of the ball just now for us.
Sotalo trying another dink over the top. This one has too much on it, and Ross Doohan will gather that easily. And you think Scott Gilmour will just want to see his side get their foot on the ball and get a few passes on the go.
You just took the words out. I was going to say Scott will be happy enough, and Houston will be happy enough with the way things are going. The goalkeeper's not had a save to make. They've got in behind once, which was fine. The ball ran out of play, but he would like to see us kind of getting on the ball and passing it and stamping our authority on the game, because we're the home team.
Ryan Porteous back with the under-21s after a senior call-up last month. A couple of senior call-ups he's had now, Ryan Porteous, but yet to make his first appearance for the senior side. But I'm sure a welcome addition back in the under-21s for Scott Gilmour, as Ross McCrory does well to intercept, but possibly a chance here. But it is a vital interception by Ryan Porteous just to stop an attack there. But the Croatians still have the ball with the captain, Morrow, who eventually fouls Ross McCrory. But that was good defensive work in the end by Ryan Porteous.
It was. I didn't think he had to go to ground as early, but it was good defending. But it was brilliant defending from Ross McCrory. See the experience he's had, obviously, for playing for Rangers, but going down to Portsmouth and obviously playing every single week for Aberdeen. He's come on and matured fantastically well as a player.
A real versatility to his game as well. We see him playing at right back tonight, even for the under-21s and for Rangers and Portsmouth and Aberdeen. We've seen him play all sorts of positions, whether it's centre-back, whether it's in the centre of midfield. He's even played as a right wing-back for Aberdeen as well. But he does the job wherever you put him.
I know he does, yes, but I think as a boy he'll need to kind of stamp down. That's his biggest problem, that they can say, right, we'll play you right back today, or we'll play you centre half, or we'll play you centre mid, and it's great because he'll play, but he'll play because he's a good player, but he'll probably want to stamp his authority and say, I want to be a centre mid, I would think.
Semper, shot to Vuskovic, and out to Satalo. Once again, patient play from the Croatians as they are pressed by Scotland and backing themselves into a corner here. Satalo struggling, just trying to flick the ball up to get that one away, but Scotland do well to pressure them into giving the ball away. George Johnson having to hammer that one up in the air. A bit of head tennis. And Bistrovic just told to get up by the Italian official. Campbell. Ferguson. It's a good cross from the left-hand side, and Nathan Patterson was arriving at the back post, and it's just had to be put out of play by Borna Sosa, and Scotland's first real chance of getting the ball into the box.
Great ball in from Daniel Harvey, and Nathan just delayed his run. I thought he could have been in there a bit, but maybe that's the defensive side of him. He's not thinking attacking wise, but he got in there and fair play to him, and it was a great cross, and that's what we need more. Just have confidence. They believe. You see, they made a few passes there just to believe in themselves.
Corner taken short. Patrick Redding whips this one in. A crowded penalty area, and Scotland will have to try again, this time from the left hand side, but Lewis Ferguson leaves it to go out for a throw in.
Yeah, it was 2-on-1. I thought they could have done better there. Alan Campbell just gave him the ball back rather than trying to commit the full back to come to Alan Campbell, so Redding could get in to get a better crossing.
Barry Maguire maybe fancying a long throw into the box here. They've got the presence of Fraser Hornby, who doesn't mind putting himself about, but it's just not far enough to get to the Stade de Reims striker. Maguire, good flick down the line, but it just isn't able to make it to Patrick Redding. But he does force the Croatians to put the ball out of play once again.
That's great play. You know they'll try and play it for the back, so just keep pressing him, and he's knocked out of play. Listen, I would take another long throw, and you've got Porteous and Hornby in there.
That's good play down the left hand side, and physical strength, but it's given a foul against Scotland.
Croatian boy knew what he was doing there. Very clever. He knew Daniel Harvey was coming into the back of him, but Daniel Harvey was very unlucky there. He played it round. He played it one side and ran round the other side, and he was very unlucky. But you've got to say, from the Croatia, it was good defending.
Well, Adrian Semper, the Croatia goalkeeper, one of many players in this Croatian side who have come through the academy at Dinamo Zagreb. They seem to have an exciting future ahead of them. He has moved on to Chievo in Italy as Scotland rob them at the edge of the box, and the strike from Alan Campbell, he just didn't catch it properly, and it's an easy catch for Semper in the end.
Listen, that's what he does fantastically well. He presses people, he makes them make mistakes. It's just he's finishing sometime, but brilliant from him.
And that pass from Lewis Ferguson just too slack. I think he was expecting Fraser Hornby to make the run, while Fraser Hornby dropped deep.
I would like to see Lewis Ferguson getting on the ball a bit more. I like to see him try and dominate like Croatia. I would like, because that's his game. He's got the confidence, he's got the experience now of playing top level football. He needs to stamp his authority in this game.
Well, Scotland having a better last 5 minutes or so, just forcing the Croatians back into their own half, having to defend. Around 16.5 minutes on the clock here at Tynecastle in this Euro 2021 qualifier. Nothing to separate the sides so far. Neither goalkeeper really tested. A pretty even contest all in all. As Scotland once again look to come forward. That one is just sliced into the air before being headed away. And Kalinovic felt he was fouled, but Scotland win the ball back. Ross McCrory looking for the long ball over the top. Alan Campbell can't get onto it. Sosa is part of a very calm sequence of play there from the Croatians. But Barry Maguire harrying his opponent into putting the ball out of play.
Yeah, good pressing again. I just think Ross McCrory, I could see what he was trying to do. Alan Campbell made the run, but try and keep the ball. I think we're trying to go route one too early rather than keeping the ball a few passes before we go in behind in the holes. I know that Sosa is coming out of the left back position, so that there's a hole there, but we need to move them first.
Well, Sosa's long ball over to the right hand side was handled by Lovro Mayer. Just the outstretched arm of the 22-year-old caught him, and Scotland will have a chance from just inside the Croatia half. Lewis Ferguson will look to land this right in the last line of Croatian defence. The likes of Ryan Porteous, Ross McCrory, Fraser Hornby will fancy their chances of getting their head on it, but it's taken quickly by Scotland. Daniel Harvey with the ball into the box, which is headed away. And Croatia with a chance to attack. Scotland getting bodies back quickly. Mayer challenged well by Nathan Patterson, and the foul was given quite late by the Italian official.
Yes, he definitely took his time blowing the whistle on Mayer, and then it was a foul for us on McCrory when he blew the whistle.
Lovro Mayer taken down by Nathan Patterson. His fourth appearance at under-21 level. Seems to be a bit of a good omen for the under-21s as well. He started the last 3 matches and has an 100% record. He'll be hoping that continues again today.
Definitely.
Gvardiol and Voskovic, the two Croatian centre-backs, have seen a lot of the ball so far in these opening stages. And this ball into the right channel has been one that they've favoured so far. Mayer getting a chance to cross that ball into the box. It's dangerous, and it's a great touch, and it's a finish from the captain, Nicola Moro. Calm as you like, into the bottom corner. Scotland 0, Croatia 1. Scotland behind, and only 19 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, disappointing. The ball down the line, we didn't close the right back early enough, and the ball went down the line in the cross, and I think Ryan Porteous has got a flick on it, and then McCrory's dive, he'll disappoint his defending there. But listen, you've got to give them credit. It's a good bit of skill from Moro, and it's a great finish.
Well, Lovro Mayer, the creator, cutting into his left-hand side.
Yeah,
it was a dangerous ball into the box. Scotland unable to defend it. And there he was, the captain, Moro, with a finish at the near post to put the Croatians ahead. Scotland have it all to do, but still early in this game. Plenty of time for Scott Gemmell's side to get back into this one.
Yes, without doubt. I think we have to try and... We've not had Hornby on the ball. We've not managed to get the ball into Hornby and into his feet to try and link the play, to try and get us squeezed up the pitch a little bit more, try and get Lewis Ferguson, try and get Alan Campbell closer to him.
Doing with the long ball towards Patterson. It came off the back of Sorrow. And Gvardiol just happy to find his goalkeeper, Adrian Semper. Long ball over the top, Daniel Harvey just returning it from where it came from. Sosa. Quick 1-2. And it's a good idea. Kalenovic trying to get onto that, but good pace shown by Ross McCrory to defend that, trying to usher the ball out of play. And strong work by the Scotland Under-21 captain in the end. Alan Campbell winning the ball again in midfield. Patterson looking for Hornby. He just tried to make a nuisance of himself going up against Vuskovic.
Yeah, Nathan's ball should have been longer rather than trying to play into Fraser there. If it had just been a little bit longer, but again, good defending from Ross McCrory.
Sosa gets it back from the throw-in and switches play over to the right-hand side. Vuskovic. Back to Gvardiol. Just 18 years old, the centre-back, Gvardiol. On loan from RB Leipzig at Dinamo Zagreb. He came through the academy there, but got his move to the Bundesliga in the summer. €16 million move. Highly rated. Was linked with Leeds United in the summer as well.
Yeah, that's not bad for an 18-year-old and going to Leipzig, who are a fantastic team.
And with the lead, Croatia once again happy just to get their foot on the ball But Gavardiol goes long. Ryan Porteous is strong and ushers that ball out of play. And it will be a throw-in for Scotland. Ryan Porteous' 13 under-21 appearance. Of course, back in the fold after his senior call-up. And also missed some games earlier on this year as well, out with a knee injury since January, but post-lockdown has come back and put in some strong performances for Hibs.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I worked with him with under-19s, an absolute fantastic attitude to the game. Just a born winner, and he deserved his Scotland national team call-up. Obviously, they had 6 centre halves, so he's better playing here because it's a massive game as well.
Patterson gives the ball away. The challenge there from Gavardiol is a good one. McCrory to take the throw in. Goes long. Sosa with the header away, and it's a nice touch. But Ross McCrory is on hand to win the ball back. Maguire. McCrory. It's given away. And Lovro-Meyer goes down. The referee tells him to get up. Ferguson. Back to George Johnston. Plays his football with Feyenoord. And Harvey looking for the long ball over towards Alan Campbell. But the Motherwell man isn't able to get onto it. Nijazbic. Back to Satalo. Gets it back from Vuskovic. Sosa, the Stuttgart man. Vuskovic goes long, and he's away from his man, cuts inside, and the strike from distance is absolutely incredible from Christian Bistrovic. What a goal. Croatia 2-0 up, and that was unstoppable.
By the way, fantastic finish again. Daniel Harvey's been caught ball watching, and the boy gets in behind. He has a great touch and just lays it. He's actually come back for, I think, himself, but the ball's come up. Jim Bistrovic, an absolute wonderful finish into the top corner.
Well, a CSKA Moscow man, his 13th appearance at this level, his 4th goal, the 22-year-old, and I'm not sure he will have scored many better than that in his career. Caught it perfectly. Rostown threw himself towards it.
Yes, I mean, there's absolutely no chance for the goalkeeper. And as I said, I think the boy was taking his touch to try and set up for himself, Sverko. But obviously Bistrovic comes onto it, and a lovely right foot strike into the top corner.
Well, Scotland have it all to do now. 2-0 down here at Tynecastle against Croatia. They fought back to beat Croatia earlier on in this group stage. They were 1-0 down. 2 late Conor McLennan goals gave them the victory over there. Can Scotland muster up another special result here at Tynecastle? McCrory. Patterson. Ball into the box. It's dangerous, and Alan Campbell was arriving just over the head of Alan Campbell. Scotland will come again. Ferguson.
It's a corner.
No touch on it, says the referee. No Scotland players claiming either. It will go out for a goal kick. A fantastic delivery there by Nathan Patterson, but just no one able to get on the end of it.
Yes, we're just struggling to get bodies in the box. It was a great cross. It was a good move. We kept the ball. We just can't seem to get on the ball. They're really pressing us really well when we get the ball. But there's Alan Campbell just done the same. Another that needs to be better, but from Nathan there, the cross there. Patterson
not beating his man this time, and he just edges into Gvardiol as the ball came down, and that was too much for the Italian official Michael Fabri.
The boy's just going to get up and walk away. There was nothing in it. Nathan just put his body against them, and he just went down. It's a poor decision from the referee.
Well, Bistrovic, who grabbed the goal, does have Champions League experience as well. You see some of the level some of these players are playing at. Scotland are up against a good side today. But Scott Gilmour will have been hoping for more in the opening 27 minutes of this match.
Yes, of course, as I said, win the game, you put yourself on top of top of the table, and he will be disappointed at the start of the game. I think we've given them a little bit too much respect. We've sat off them, and they've got in good areas where obviously they look as though they've been working on, say, down their right side in behind Daniel Harvey.
Well, just a stoppage in play as the goal scorer Bistrovic is down. He's now back to his feet. As we see Nathan Patterson there, a couple of deliveries from the right hand side. He's managed to get a bit more space since that Croatian second goal went in, but yet to test Adrian Semper, Scotland so far. George Johnson just having to put that one into the stand under pressure from Lovro Mayer.
Yeah, he could have played it back to do it in there, but I think just being 2-0 down, he just wanted to be safe. And listen, defenders defend first and foremost.
They go for the long throw, well defended by Ryan Porteous. Strong in the air, and that's put back into the stand, this time by Alan Campbell. Alan Campbell does become the third most capped player at this level tonight, his 23rd under-21 appearance. Just two players have played more games than him at this level, Stephen Presley and Christian Daly. Quite an achievement.
A wonderful achievement, and listen, his time will come for the national team as well. But 23 caps, I played with both of them, Elvis and Christian. So
I think that ball just crossed the line. That will be a goal kick for Scotland as they look to get their shape back. Maybe just calm down a bit.
Yes, they're obviously feeling because they've gone 2-0 down, but I do feel we've not got, as I've said before, I repeat myself, that we've not got Hornby on the ball, we've not got balls into him, so we can get people up to support. And when you do that, you just go deeper and deeper. It makes it harder for the midfield, and it makes it harder for the defence.
Ferguson's header, and Lovro Mayer comes right through the back of the Aberdeen man. George Johnson taking exception to that. Michael Fabry maybe not happy with the reaction of some of the Scotland players, but Lovro Mayer just went in there quite heavy on Lewis Ferguson quite late. It was always Ferguson's ball, that one.
Yeah,
and it'll be him to take the free kick.
Listen, this is where we need to capitalise on set plays. We do have a presence. We need quality into the box.
Ferguson launches it towards the back post. It's headed back across by Porteous, and he tries to a spectacular overhead kick effort, not what he's known for, Ryan Porteous, but it's straight into the hands of Adrian Semper.
No, I don't think he's people know Ryan Porteous about overhead kicks, no, but I think he was maybe just trying to put it back in the middle.
Well, that certainly would have beat Christian Bistrovic's effort from earlier on.
Well, it would have, yes, but the boys, Bistrovic's finish was top drawer.
Sosa. Throw in. It's won by Alan Campbell, and Gvardiol had a swipe at him, but he's still going, Alan Campbell. He's got runners. It's a ball out to Patterson, but just not enough on it. It was a good recovery by Gvardiol in the end. And
by the way, Morrow's had a boot up him there. The referee, it's really a booking. Even though he never caught him, he's tried to deliberately kick him there. But it was a good break. It's just a poor ball, and that's where we've kind of let ourselves down about our final ball.
Maguire with a long throw. It's into a dangerous area. Headed to the edge of the box. Ferguson back in. Hornby knew he was offside. And the clearance comes off Reading. Harvey forced all the way back to Ross Doohan. Croatia really pressing Scotland, but Doohan doing well under that pressure to pick out the pass. Well, Michael Fabry taking his time over that one. I wasn't sure whether he was going to give the free kick for a handball, but eventually gave the foul.
The boy was clever there. Daniel Harvey was clever. It wasn't a foul, and he's just grabbed the ball to make the referee make a decision, and he's given it to Scotland, which I don't think it was, but we'll take it. And again, you saw in the last set play that we did cause a problem. This is, again, we need quality again.
Well, two are lining up this for Scotland. The rest of the players on the edge of the 18-yard line. Will it be Lewis Ferguson or Patrick Redding to take? It's Redding, headed away by the first man, Harvey. Back out to Redding. He's got Ferguson in support, he uses him. Tried some quick feet there, Lewis Ferguson, but eventually gave the ball away. And it's some nice play by the Croatians, but Barry Maguire wins the ball. George Johnson gives it away again, and Semper just happy to launch that one into the centre circle. Well taken down by Gvardiol.
Yeah, nice play. That's what we're talking about, trying to get back in the game. You need good quality delivery at set plays, and Redding's hit the first man, and that's disappointing.
Sitalo. Vuskovic. And Scotland are just happy to sit off this back three of Croatia when they're in possession. Now Fraser Hornby pressing Vuskovic. And the ball into midfield is a poor one. Porteous does well. Hornby flicks it back to the Hibs man. His ball over the top. Hooked it over his shoulder, but Nathan Patterson unable to get on the end of that. And it will be a goal kick to the away side.
Yeah, Ryan read it very well. Got in front of the striker and drove forward, and it was a bad ball from Hornby trying to lay it off, and then we forced that again. It went out of play.
Well, what will Scott Gilmour be thinking at this point? 2-0 down, 34 minutes on the clock for Scotland.
Well, you just want to stay in the game just now. We're not out the game. You saw a couple of set plays, but I just think we need to be braver. We need to be braver on the ball, and we need to be braver without the ball as well. Pressing them, they're pressing us. As soon as we get the ball, they're pressing us and forcing us into mistakes.
The long switch is dangerous. Borna Sosa trying to get onto it, but he's eventually taken down Ross McCrory. It'll go out for a goal kick that Michael Fabry, the referee, is given.
I think he'll definitely be looking for better quality up to Hornby, because as I said before, and again repeating myself, that you need to get your striker. He's a focal point of the team. You need to get him on the ball, and that's just like Johnson's just forcing it. He's forcing it because we're losing. We're trying to get a goal. He's just forcing that there.
Well, not seen a lot of the ball, Fraser Hornby, but we know when he gets chances, he can put them away. 10 goals in 16 games at under-21 level. Hasn't really made too many appearances for Stade de Reims so far this season, but when he pulls on a Scotland shirt, he is prolific. The ball in from Daniel Harvey has too much on it, as Ross McCrory will chase it down and battles
That's
well
better
to win the throw-in. Patterson, his former Rangers teammate. Porteous looking for the ball over the top once again. This time it's cleared, but Maguire tries to find Alan Campbell. Scotland having to start again with George Johnson at the back. Daniel Harvey. The ball into Hornby. Unsuccessful once again. It's been a tough shift so far up there for Fraser Hornby.
He has, but he just get there. He's got a chance.
Ball through by Maguire onto Fraser Hornby. It's a dangerous looking ball in, and Sosa has to head that away because Nathan Patterson was getting himself in there at the back post.
Again, and I'm not being overcritical of Nathan, but he has to think goals. He's playing out that position. He has to think as soon as the ball goes over the top, he needs to get in. Campbell needs to get in, and Lewis Ferguson needs to try and back up the box there.
Well, a fully integrated member of the Rangers first team squad now, Nathan Patterson, predominantly as a right back, but has played a couple of games as a right winger for Scotland Under-21s as Patrick Redding looks to deliver. Into the 6-yard box. It was a good delivery, but just no Scotland players taking the gamble at the edge of the 6-yard box as Patterson goes back to Daniel Harvey. Maguire. Ball in towards Fraser Hornby, but once again it's headed away before the striker can get a touch on it. And he uses his body well, Fraser Hornby, but the interception by Nicola Moro was enough to get the ball away.
Yeah, it's just it's pressing them like they're pressing us, and you force them into mistakes. But now you need to keep the ball. We're forcing too many things, and I get it because we're 2-0 down and they're trying to get back in the game. See, that's another ball that Fraser's looking at in his chest, and it's too long.
McCrory, Patterson. Good quick play into Maguire.
That's better.
Spreads the ball to Daniel Harvey. Ferguson dropping deep in between the two centre-backs. Looking to get things started for Scotland. Johnston. Harvey back to Johnston, who thought about the long ball, but they haven't been working so far for Scotland, so maybe keeping it short is the best option at the moment. Porteous. Ball inside Campbell is unmarked. I know there was a collision in the middle of the park there between Barry Maguire and Michael Fabry, the referee. But as Scotland continue, but a mix up there, a short pass by Patrick Redding and a slip by Daniel Harvey, but it hasn't cost Scotland as it goes all the way back to Ross Doohan.
Yeah, that's where you saw Ferguson getting on the ball there, and he needs to get on the ball. He's hardly been on the ball. You see what a difference it made. We had a little bit set play there where it was played up and laid back and then laid out wide. We need Lewis to get on the ball more, like their midfield. Morrow, Zverko are getting on the ball and making things happen.
Well, it was a long ball there by George Johnson, once again searching for Fraser Hornby, but Adrian Semper, the happy recipient. And he'll just take his time to send this one up the park. Flicked on by Kalenovic, who has been quiet so far. Kalenovic, although he does have a good record, 6 goals in 12 appearances at this level, spent some of his youth on loan at Juventus. Voskovic will just lead that one out the park.
Yeah, listen, it's a good ball into the hole behind Sosa and all that, but it's gone out of play. You've got to try and drop it short so it doesn't go out of play, and you have to make the defender make a decision.
Well, the centre-backs sent away by Adrian Semper. This one's going to go long once again from the Croatia goalkeeper. Ball over the top into the path of Meyer. Porteous using his body really well just to usher that ball out of play. Well, there has been quite a lot of direct balls from both sides in this game so far.
Yes, well, they're obviously looking at the ball in behind Daniel Harvey. That's their main ball, and obviously Sosa on the other side. But listen, we're 2-0 down. We'll be disappointed. But Doohan's not really had a save to make. They've been 2 great goals from their point of view. Obviously, the second one, Bistovic, is a wonderful strike.
And Scotland have limited Croatia's chances, but the 2 chances they got, they've taken with aplomb. Scotland win a throw in, a knee in the back for Nathan Patterson. But he's up and ready to go. Barry Maguire taking the throw in. Looks as if he's going to send this one long from really deep. Barry Maguire. Scotland just needing to get that ball into the box.
Yeah, McCrory and Porteous going up.
McCrory was looking for the flick on. It's headed down by Hornby. McCrory in there again. Hornby up. The ball sent high in the air. It'll land at the feet of Ross McCrory, just unable to get a touch on it. Kalenovic. One back by Scotland. Johnston. Ferguson. McCrory struggling to find an opening. Porteous sends it back to the left-hand side. Harvey.
Put in the box.
McCrory's long ball is blocked. The right back finding himself in the left back position. As Scotland look to start again with Ryan Porteous, who lines up the long ball out towards Daniel Harvey. It's flicked on into the path of Patrick Redding, but Bosco Sotalo happy to try and usher that ball out of play. Still in, a bit of a mess down there in the corner, and eventually the ball did go out of play. It's a throw into Scotland.
Listen, everyone wants to play total football, but you just saw the problems caused by a long throw in there. We've got 3 big guys, we're 2-0 down. Yes, get the ball in the box and go for second balls.
I think it was Peter Houston that you could hear with the exact same shout as yourself there.
I think it was Malky.
And a foul given away by George Johnson, who's going to get a yellow card. Michael Fabry just motioning that an elbow was used there by the Feyenoord defender.
There didn't look much in it, but you know what it's like nowadays. You just touch anybody, and if your elbows are up.
It was headed away, and Johnson went up, just came through the back of his opponent in the air. Michael Fabry not happy with that one.
Yeah, there didn't look much in it.
Well, less than 2 minutes of normal time in the first half to go. Scotland finding themselves chasing this game. And this time it will be a free kick to Scotland. In that left back position. A quick switch by Lewis Ferguson. Scotland looking to create one last chance. As McCrory, the ball spun up in the air, was unable to keep possession. And Sosa striding forward, gets past Porteous with ease and does well to get past Barry Maguire as well. Sosa trying to cut it back. It was a good interception by Ferguson, and Scotland eventually managing to deal with that one after some good work down the left hand side by the left back Sosa.
Great play from Sosa, but I still thought Barry Maguire, McCrory dived in where they didn't need to. I don't think he was going to do them with pace. So you don't need to dive in, but it was a great play from him.
Adrian Semper just happy to run down the clock with 30 seconds left to go. Johnson heads it back, but Fraser Hornby wasn't available to get himself back on side. Alan Campbell wins the ball, but as soon as he wins it, it's back out of his possession. Semper strikes that one towards the halfway line. Johnston. Maguire wins it, and the ball over the top from Alan Campbell. Nathan Patterson was running, but the ball was just too central for the Rangers man to get onto. And Michael Fabry blows the whistle for half-time. Scotland 2-0 down to Croatia so far in this one. Nikola Moro, the Croatia captain, opening the scoring for them, and then it was a wonder goal from Christian Bistrovic to put Croatia 2-0 up. Scotland have a lot to do in the second half.
Yes, they do. I think Scotland, they're getting in behind on too many occasions, and obviously the first goal from Morrow comes at the back post. It's a great finish. McCrory might be disappointed with himself that he's dived in, but then the second one from Bistrovic, listen, again, disappointed with the ball in behind Daniel Harvey, but it's a wonderful finish. And sometimes you just, I know that Scott Gemmell's going to say this, but sometimes you just need to hold your hands up and say, class sometimes is you can't stop it. So, but he'll be disappointed with our possession on the ball. The ball, and I think the ball into Hornby. We can't get Hornby on the ball to try and get the midfield up and support. We're doing okay sometimes at pressing. Alan Campbell's got pressed really well one time and got himself in. Nathan Patterson's put a couple of good crosses over. So listen, they're winning 2-0, but we're not totally out of the game.
Well, let's have a look at the goals. Scotland 0, Croatia 2 at half-time at Tynecastle. The first of those coming from the captain, Nikola Moro. Some good play by Lovro Mayer just to skip past a couple of men. A dangerous delivery. Ryan Porteous and Ross McCrory, I think both got a touch on it, but when it fell at the feet of Nikola Moro, a composed and assured finish from the captain into the near post, and that was Scotland 1-0 down.
It was probably he saw the danger. Ross McCrory, he was tucked in probably too much, and it gave Moro all the space, and as I said, it was a great finish.
And well, that was that long ball that we've seen a few times from them to Satalo. It was cut back And that finish from Bistrovic was something special.
Yes, it was. Listen, everyone talks about playing total football. That's not just a punt up the park. That's a great long ball into Sitalo, and it was great backup play by Bistrovic. And as I say, sometimes you hold your hand up to quality, and it was total quality.
Well, we've seen Scotland come from behind against Croatia already in this campaign to win a match. Will they be able to do it in the second half? Scott Gilmour with a lot to think about at half time. But let's take a break from the football, because you see them week in, week out on the pitch, and we caught up with the men in the middle for a bit of fun in our referee spotlight to get to know them a little bit better.
Champion bagpipe player.
I mean, that was just because I like chips.
So I had to send the player off during the penalty shootout.
A male streaker chased me about the pitch.
Big Mac, 2 cheeseburgers and a Smarties McFlurry.
He is a real jack in the box.
Scottish Cup replay between Kilmarnock and Aberdeen that went all the way. It finished 4-3 and the last goal came in something like stoppage time.
The Motherwell Hibs match sticks in my mind, a 6 each thriller, it was excellent.
Oh my God, I don't even know where to start with this.
I'm not sure any of them that I could broadcast right now, but I would leave that to your imagination.
Champion bagpipe player. I've never picked up the bagpipes in my life.
Must be a Celtic fan because he'd seen me in a chip shop in Carfin. I mean, that was just because I like chips and I'm close to the chip shop in Carfin.
Jorge Jesus, he's a nightmare. I mean, he is an artist. He is a real jack in the box. He's constantly questions everything. He's up and down the touchline. He's out. You're technically right. And for me, way back then, I'm like, wow, what's happened here?
Jurgen Klopp's the best one.
Jurgen Klopp was a handful.
First thing the Observer said after the game was, he said to Graham Chambers, he said, "Do you know Jurgen Klopp?" He says, "You got a relationship with him?" He says, "No." He says, "I just wondered because he was standing with his hand on your shoulder the whole time." I mean, he just dominated poor Chambers.
Dortmund won the match. I don't really know what he was upset about.
Tommy Wright, a gentleman, a guy, but when he loses it, he really loses it.
The honest answer is none of them.
I've got to say there's no many that I'd want to be stuck in a desert island with.
You wouldn't want to be stuck in a desert island with any of them.
Brother lads, absolutely none of them.
Dan McFarlane, who did my Ireland for me when I was away with him, so I'll say Dan McFarlane just for the Ireland.
Bobby Madden. Wouldn't get a minute's peace. He'd keep you entertained for however long you were on the desert island.
Alan Mulvaney can get you anything, right? See, if you need something, Alan Mulvaney will get it, and he'll get it cheaper than you can get it. So I don't know how he does it, but Alan, so if you're stuck there and you need something, Alan will get it.
McDonald's.
A whole packet of biscuits or 2 packets of biscuits, I don't really stop.
Packet of biscuits.
But a pizza or a Chinese, something like that.
Big Mac, 2 cheeseburgers and a Smarties McFlurry.
I think for any referee in Scotland, really, getting to do the Scottish Cup final has got to be a dream game.
Boca Juniors, you ever play?
Boca River Plate, I think, is always the one that, to referee, I think would be amazing. Just to attend it would be unbelievable watching. It's incredible.
Barcelona, Real Madrid.
The World Cup final would be the ultimate for any referee.
You could have the referees mic'd up and would hear what we were saying. It'd be good also for people to understand the dialogue between players and referees, and also between the managers. I think it's constant, so I would like to see that.
They do it in hockey where they can take a quick free kick to themselves. So I think anything that speeds up the game.
Probably do away with having extra time, straight to penalty kicks. Some people might just say that's because I don't want to run anymore, but no, I think it's about the excitement for the fans.
I think it would just be celebrating a goal. I think if we could just get rid of a yellow card for the celebration of a goal, within reason. I mean, obviously there'd be things that players would still do that would go too far. I remember refereeing an amateur game years and years ago in a public park, and a guy scored a goal, ran off the park, jumped into a car and started tooting the horn.
Halfway through the penalty kicks, player scored and decided he would give I could leave it to your imagination, the gesture to the crowd behind the goal. So I had to send the player off during the penalty shootout.
The two dressing rooms face each other, and there's chairs getting flung, and there's a full-on fight, and I had to get both guys in and tell them that they were being sent off, and while they still had blood coming to injuries on their face.
I've not had any unusual circumstances. No, I mean, I've had a couple of unusual circumstances on pitches and things. Like I remember refereeing Irvine Meadow and Irvine Victoria in a junior derby, and a male streaker chased me about the pitch. So that's not a story I would often want to tell, but it is true.
Stevie Mallon, when he was at St Mirren, he played Dundee away at Dens Park, and he did a amazing from like the halfway line, magic side foot into the bottom corner.
George Oakley for Hamilton, right where the keeper off the post in. What a screamer.
A game maybe 3 or 4 years ago when Koulibaly scored for Kilmarnock from something like 40, 50 yards out.
Del Piero, he was probably in the latter stage of his career at that point, but he scored a curling shot for the edge of the area, top corner. It was absolutely fantastic. It was an under-12 game.
Under-21s amateur match.
A guy drove across the park on a quad bike about 300 times.
The most memorable part was that opposite the pitch, there's like 2 high-rise flats, and there was just this big crash at half-time, and it was a washing machine coming out the flat, like 8th floor flat, and then a good old Barney between somebody who'd been chucked out of the house and whoever was still in the house, and she was throwing out all his belongings.
Aye, this isn't an easy one. I mean, I can't say myself, I'll let the other guys say that.
Probably Beaton's probably one of the best chat.
Bobby Madden. I think there is only one winner, and I wouldn't be surprised if anyone else has said anything otherwise. Bobby's probably said Bobby.
Brian Winter. Brian's stories were just ridiculous. We once got stuck in the tarmac at, coming back for the winter training camp. We were there for about 3.5 hours. Toilet's locked, can't get in. He knows that I'm needing to go to the toilet as soon as we got up in the air. So sure enough, up in the air, seatbelt sign goes off, Brian jumps up in first. A woman comes up to stand in the queue, and I'm thinking, oh, well, I'll just let her go first and sit back down. So the door clicks open, Brian looks at me, I turn to back, and there's a look of absolute horror. He's obviously went in, didn't bother to flush the toilet, just thought he was leaving me a wee surprise to go back into it, and this poor woman has walked in.
For me as a referee, being involved at the top level, getting to go and be involved in some of the top matches here in this country and also abroad.
Probably should say making the friends and the camaraderie, but it's no. For me, it's the travel anyway. Look at, I've been to places I would never have imagined that I could have been stadiums, even outside the stadium, cities or countries that I never thought I could have visited. So I think there's 57 member countries in Europe, and I've now been to 52.
I think it's getting to be involved at the top level, whether it be in Scotland or in Europe. Beyond that, getting to travel Europe. I mean, I've been to probably close to about 40 countries in Europe, and just getting to be able to do that is sort of your job is amazing. To go to the Bernabeu and the Nou Camp and be in these places, but not just to be in them. It's not just a fan experience. It's actually being on the pitch with these superstar players and getting to see them close up.
I get to referee the best stadiums in the country, some of the biggest matches, the same internationally. So it gives you opportunities that would not be available otherwise.
I love football, I wanted to be a football player, I wanted to be a goalkeeper, was never good enough, genuinely would never have been good enough, and I love it. And I don't really care where a referee, what game it is, every game's great to me, huge to me. I would referee this weekend for not a penny. If they said we're stopping paying referees, I would still continue, I wouldn't stop for a second.
Growing up as a wee boy, watching World Cups was what inspired me, and for it to actually get there, it meant everything. That's what I trained for, that's what I played for. I think that's every footballer's dream, is to play for their country and actually get to a major final.
Anybody that plays international football, that is what they're trying to do really. But you've got the Euros and you've got the World Cup, and I was lucky to have achieved to have played in both of them. And it is great memories, and it's a great honour, and it's the highlights of my career as an international footballer.
That feeling as you walk out the tunnel, the first game in the major tournament, you see the Tartan Army, the whole world's looking in. All your family and friends are watching, either in the stadium or back home. It's an absolutely amazing feeling. Maximum preparation, you know your opponent's strengths and weaknesses, and most important, you go and enjoy it. Makes me emotional. Looking back, teammates, just happy moments.
Holland at Villa Park, that's the best atmosphere, that's the best ever I've been played in.
somebody come up to me and said, I can't believe you actually captained Scotland in the World Cup '98 and you're standing right next to me right now, and it is a little bit surreal. You know, you've got to pinch yourself sometimes as to how well you've done and the honour that you had in captaining your country and being part of the Euro '96 and World Cup '98.
Well, there's no doubt it unites the whole country. The feel-good factor is absolutely unbelievable. Everywhere you go, months leading up to it, everybody wants to talk about the final, so fingers and toes crossed that the boys can do it.
Unfortunately, at this moment in time with COVID and everything that's going on, there's no been any fans or support to really enjoy how well we've done, because we've done remarkably well under Steve Clarke.
You've got to look forward to these occasions. They don't come along too often in your lifetime, but you've got to embrace the moment and really have that self-belief in yourself and your teammates round about you, because you need to do it together.
There's no motivation needed. You know, there won't be any motivation needed for these players. These are players at the top of the tree.
I never felt the pressure, because as a player you don't feel the pressure. You think opportunity.
Enjoy yourself, relax, enjoy yourself.
They've got to believe in the game plan, they've got to believe in each other. They've got to believe they can win.
Opportunity knocks, big time. Spoken kindly here for Lyndon Dykes, and he managed to poke it through for Ryan Fraser! And it is a perfect start for Scotland! He's there! It is Kenny McLean, and he's done it! If ever there was a time to seize the moment, that was it! And all of a sudden, a nation cheers, a nation believes.
Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Scotland 0, Croatia 2, the half-time score at Tynecastle. Croatia already out for the second half. The Scotland players just coming out the tunnel. First half goals from Morrow and Bistrovic have Croatia ahead in this one. Scotland with it all to do in the second half. I'm Andrew McLean, joined by former Scotland international Darren Jackson. Darren, just having a look at the Scotland bench. Will Scott Gilmour, do you think, be turning to that soon?
Well, is that look as though he's making a substitution just now? Glenn Middleton.
There is going to be a change for Scotland at half-time, and it's going to be Glenn Middleton who comes on for Scotland. Off goes Nathan Patterson, so it's one Rangers player for another. A change on that right-hand side. Scott Gilmour looking for something a bit different in attack in the second half.
Yes, without doubt. He's brought a forward player on. Glenn's pace can cause problems, because Sosa is getting forward a lot, so he's going to try and exploit that area with Glenn's pace.
Well, Glenn Middleton, the only change as Fraser Hornby gets us underway for this second half. Ferguson out to McCrory. Porteous to Johnston.
So I didn't think he was going to make too many changes, as we said at half time. Listen, you're 2-0 down, but they've only had really two clear-cut chances. So we've been in the game. We've had a couple of chances as well. So the players just need to believe in themselves. They've put themselves in an incredible position because they've believed in themselves in this group.
You talked about in the first half how Nathan Patterson maybe could have found himself in a bit more dangerous positions in the final third. Maybe Glenn Middleton will have that more instinctive attacking output.
Yes, well, hopefully. Listen, Nathan did well. He put a couple of good crosses in, and it's not his game. I mean, it sounds as though I'm kind of having, but I'm not. It's just when the ball was going in there, it was good opportunities.
Nathan Patterson certainly highly rated by Rangers and Stephen Gerrard, but he's made way for Glenn Middleton in this second half as the ball goes back to Ross Doohan. In goal, shot to George Johnston. the Feyenoord centre-back Ferguson. Dropping deep once again, Porteous.
See, they're 2-0 up, they'll just be happy us having the ball at the back now. They'll not press us too high up the pitch. They'll just go at the right time.
Johnson looking for that long ball for Hornby, who made a bit of a nuisance of himself, but he wasn't able to get on the end of it.
Yeah, but we should read the second ball there. It didn't look as though Fraser was going to win that, so we have to look to try and get the second ball and be up on the second ball.
Gvardiol, the ball over the top. It's a dangerous header by Ryan Porteous back towards George Johnston, and Lovro Meyer can get there. Lays it off to Sosa, who's looking for the ball into the box, and it will go out for a corner. The referee Michael Fabry's seen something he's not a fan of in the middle of the box there.
Yeah, it was a poor header from Ryan there. He put Johnston under a little bit of pressure, but when you've got quality like Meyer and Sosa on the left, it's very hard. But again, great defending from McCrory.
Meyer will take this one. They do have an aerial threat as well, the likes of Gvardiol, who has 1 goal in his 4 appearances, the 18-year-old. It's flicked on by Vuskovic at the front post. They will get a chance to try and work this back into the box, but Fraser Hornby chasing down Gvardiol, flicks it back over the top. Scotland players claiming for a handball. Nothing given. Satalo, and there's too much on that from Satalo. Scotland get a goal kick.
Yeah, I thought we could have got out quicker there once the ball's cleared, try and clear the box, but luckily Satalo put the ball out of play.
Bosko Satalo, another of these Croatian players who's been involved in a big money move, a €5 million move from Osijek to Atalanta. McCrory heads that back into the centre of the park. Reading, and Alan Campbell just bundles over his man as Semper plays that long and leaves it for George Johnson to deal with. Hooks it back over the halfway line. And he goes in late, Patrick Reading, on Marin Sverko, and that's going to be the second yellow card of the game.
I think his scream got Reading booked here. I think he's hardly touched him. I'm sure he'll get up and run away. But that's what happens now. He's committed himself and he's made the referee come into a decision, and he's decided to book him, which he puts himself a little bit under pressure now.
Easy to hear that scream in the empty Tynecastle today. As Croatia get the ball back in play, Sutalo back to Vuskovic. Thought about clipping it over the top to Sverko. Just gets the ball back again. Scotland now deciding to press that Croatian backline. Middleton yet to be involved in the 5 minutes or so that he's been on the pitch. Semper clips that out to Sosa, who can't retain possession. And that's calm play by Gvardiol.
Great play from Gvardiol.
A brilliant switch as well from the 18-year-old. Very highly rated. That's a good recovery challenge by Patrick Reading. And Alan Campbell takes that one in well. And surely fouled in there. Michael Fabry says no. And it will give Croatia an opportunity to drive forward with the ball here. Nicola Moro, the captain, spreading the ball out wide. Ryan Porteous getting in the way. And Ross McCrory bundled over, and that one will be a foul.
Yes, he's played it well. He knows if the boy hits him, he's going to go down in the defensive area and get a free kick. Another change that Scott might be looking is maybe McClellan for Reading. Another positive player on the left to get forward quick. He's strong and he's obviously scored goals for the under-21s, and then you're looking at possibly, well, I don't know how long they can give Billy Gilmour, and you're looking at David Turnbull as well.
Semper's ball over the head of, Doohan's ball over the head of Hornby. Maguire. Hornby, who felt as if he was fouled. Middleton skips by his man, and he felt he was fouled as well. But the Italian officials not having any of it.
No, it looked soft. I think he's tried to. Nah, I wouldn't say that's a foul. Glenn's just let it through him and he's gone out to play.
Maybe a hopeful claim.
It is, yeah. When you're losing 2-0, you grasp onto anything. But we need to. We've brought Glenn on. We need to try and get him on the ball. We need to get him to try and use his pace down that line. Get bodies in the box. Get Fraser in the box.
Ferguson clips it over the top. Fraser Hornby knows he's offside.
He shouldn't be offside.
And Ryan Porteous will chase that back. Ross Doohan, who hasn't really had a save to make, Ross Doohan, but he has seen 2 goals go past him.
The goalkeeper's hasn't done anything wrong. He's been great, and he's one bad kick there, but everything he's had to do, and he's not had a lot to do apart from pick the ball out the net twice.
Well, chances have been limited, but it's the clinical nature of the Croatians that has them 2-0 up. 53 minutes into this Euro 2021 qualifier at Tynecastle. Johnston. Ferguson to Porteous. Hornby, first time out to McCrory. Middleton, I think he was maybe waiting for the ball to come to his feet. McCrory played it by him. Back to McCrory.
Early, first ball, first time.
Ferguson getting more involved. McCrory.
No, yes.
Middleton, brilliant 1-2. McCrory cuts it back towards Fraser Hornby. It's blocked, but Middleton, he's by one, he can strike them.
Oh, yes!
Oh, and it's in! A mistake by Adrian Semper, and it's gifted Scotland a way back into this game. Glenn Middleton off the bench and on the score sheet for Scotland. Adrian Semper not covering himself in glory, but Scott Gilmour and his players will not mind at all.
100%, yes, that's what Scott would have wanted. He wants Glenn on the ball. That's what he does. Left-footed player playing on the right, coming inside and having a strike. It's a good strike, but the keeper should save it. But we retained possession there. We had a few passes. Lewis Ferguson got on the ball and was switching the play from right to left, and that's what created the goal. Glenn gets on the ball, cuts inside, and as I said, it's a goal, so brilliant.
Well, a second under-21 goal for Glenn Middleton. His first came in September last year against San Marino, and this one made its way past the goalkeeper and into the bottom corner. Well, we know he can strike them, Glenn Middleton. I remember a goal he scored in a Youth Cup final for Rangers against Celtic at Hampden. A fierce left-footed strike that was. This one he maybe didn't catch as well, but he's taking the chance.
Yeah, listen, that's what he does. He causes problems with his pace. He can go outside, he can come inside, more comfortable coming inside on his left foot. And listen, if you don't shoot, you don't score, and it's the goalkeeper's fault for making the mistake.
Well, that has changed the complexion of the game, but Croatia will try to come forward. Myers' ball, wonderful interception by Ryan Porteous, who is eventually fouled.
And I think that was a bad one.
Well, Ryan Porteous is holding his face.
We sent him off.
Off the ball, and Sosa is off. It's a red card for Croatia. And how quickly can a game change? A goal for Scotland to get back into it, and Sosa has been sent off for Croatia. The lead is down to 1. Croatia are down to 10 men. He barged Porteous, and then there was the kick as the two of them went over.
Listen, that's where managers get angry with players. You're so in control of the game. Yes, you've lost the goal, but you're still leading. And then he goes and does that. Ryan is always aggressive. He's ushering the ball out to play. He knows and there's just, I mean, as I say, stupidity from the player.
Well, Igor Biscan, a name you might know. He's the Croatia Under-21 manager. Just how frustrated will he be now? Scotland getting a way back into the game through the goal, and then the red card for Sosa, who was one of their most influential players so far in this game.
He was, yeah. Morrow and Sosa have been the two best players for me. He was causing all sorts of problems in that first half, but McCrory got closer to him the second half. He's put a couple of crosses in, but McCrory's blocked a few as well, so he's got close. Obviously Scott's told him try and get closer to him to stop the crosses going in, but listen, it's a huge blow for them, but we can't say it's a massive plus. It is a massive plus. I'm getting sent off, but we have to make it to our advantage now.
Well, Ross Doohan will take this free kick. Just Michael Fabry still not letting him take it.
No, he's waiting for the player to walk, because they can't be on the same side of dressing rooms. He's having to wait for the player to walk round half the pitch to go down the tunnel.
Well, there he is, Borna Sosa. He did actually sit down on the bench after he got sent off, which obviously isn't allowed, and he's now just taking his time to get round a dejected looking Borna Sosa, the 22-year-old Stuttgart player. As we see a replay of the red card here, and it was just that right-footed kick on Ryan Porteous. A moment of madness from the left back, a barge in the back to start with, and the correct decision from the Italian referee.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, listen, Ryan knew what he was doing, ushering the ball out to play. He knew that the boy was going to come in the back of him and get a foul, but I mean, for him to go and kick him in the head is stupidity.
Well, quite a prolonged stoppage of play there, but Borna Sosa is down the tunnel on this near side in the Wheatfield stand where the Croatia players have been situated, the Scotland players over in the main stand. The ball is cleared. Will be a throw in to Scotland, and how this game has changed for Scott Gilmour and his players. It's going to be a long throw from Barry Maguire. Tried a couple of these in the first half, but with Croatia a man down, they could prove to be a bit more dangerous.
Yeah, second ball's edge of the box. You see Lewis Ferguson at the edge of the box there.
Well, it's flicked on and eventually cleared, but all the momentum swinging Scotland's way, and they'll think they've got a real chance of going on and getting something from this game. Maguire, good play from Maguire to find Middleton. The cross hits the first man.
Yeah, the defender did well there. We need quality in from Glenn.
Ferguson. Harvey, back to Ferguson. You wonder whether Igor Biscan, the Croatia manager, will be thinking about a change after that red card.
Scotland are looking at a change here. I think it's Billy Gilmour.
Yeah, it looks to be Billy Gilmour getting ready on that far side. That will be a further boost to this Scotland side, to a goal up, or have got a goal back in the last few minutes, and Croatia have seen themselves go down a man. And Billy Gilmour, who playing at such a high level, such an exciting talent, and that's a wonderful switch, and Ross McCrory takes it in his stride, and it's a good recovery challenge. Well, it's going to be a goal kick.
But it's a great move. Ross does very well, but it's great. You've got to give the boy credit. It's great defending. I think it could be, I'm having a little guess, Barry Maguire, and you move Alan Campbell back in beside Lewis Ferguson and Billy off the front. But I could be wrong.
Well, there is going to be a couple of changes. It looks like Conor McLennan as well is stripped and ready to come on. Conor McLennan, the man who came off the bench and scored twice when Scotland were 1-0 down in Croatia earlier on in this qualifying campaign. And he might fancy his chances to do something similar again today.
100%, and it's this. I would think again it would be Reading, and then you've got pace, great pace down either side.
Maguire clips the ball over to Harvey. It's a lovely pass, and Harvey does well to take it down. Edge of the box, and the strike is just palmed away. It was Barry Maguire with the effort, and it's Ferguson this time. It's sliced. Scotland really putting the pressure on now. A decent save by Adrian Semper from Barry Maguire. Not known for his goals, Barry Maguire.
That was a great left foot shot. Great pick out by Daniel Harvey.
Middleton drive to the byline, cuts it back, and Alan Campbell was in at the front post, but unable to get too significant a touch on that one.
Yeah, he's done well, going past the front post, making that run to the front post, but the ball was just under his feet and he couldn't get out. This is a great pick out from Daniel Harvey, lifts his head, sees Barry Maguire. It's a comfortable save by the goalie, but it's a good one.
Scotland getting themselves into more dangerous positions. And we see this Reading trying to feed the ball through to Fraser Hornby, and Croatia will win that throw-in. As Scotland make a double substitution here, as we see Billy Gilmour come on for his return to the international scene, and his return to football as well, because he had surgery on a torn meniscus during the summer. His last game was the 7th of July against Crystal Palace, and he's back on for Scotland. Patrick Redding has already made his way off the pitch, so he'll come off for Conor McLennan, and it's Billy Gilmour for Lewis Ferguson.
I was wrong. They've swapped Glenn over to the left and Conor on the right.
Well, Chelsea may well have seen this as a good opportunity for Billy Gilmour to get some minutes under his belt, because he hasn't played since returning from injury, and the club could have easily said that they didn't want him to come and play in these qualifiers, but they must think that this is a good chance for him to go and stretch his legs on his return from injury.
Without doubt. They've spoken to Chelsea, because obviously Billy starts the game if he's fit, but they're just trying to ease him back in, but an absolutely huge talent.
Johnston to Middleton out on this left hand side, and his direct running has caused Croatia a bit of a problem since he came on.
Yeah, that's all he has to do. I mean, he's got a set play out. He's dragged two players out, so they've got one sent off, so there's more players in the middle for us to try and hit.
Once again, Middleton driving to the byline. He's kept that one in, Glenn Middleton. It's a good block at the front post, but he is causing real problems to this Croatia defence now. The Rangers man, who is yet to feature for his club this season, did have loan spells at Hibs and Bradford last season. Maguire on the turn. McCrory to McLennan, involved for the first time since coming off the bench, but he loses the ball. But it's won back by Ross McCrory, but he's booked by the Italian official.
Listen, this is what's going to happen now. They've had a man sent off. They're going to go down. It doesn't look much in it. I think he's running back, and I mean, where does he put his hands? I don't think he's tried to hit him. He's got his hand out, to be fair, but he's. But they'll go down. They'll try, and this is where Scotland have to be clever and not get involved. Don't make rash tackles.
As we can see here, Glenn Middleton driving to the byline, showing great pace, did well to keep it in, just unable to pick out his man. Good defending in the end.
Yeah, there's two players standing. Hornby was standing for the cutback, but he did very well.
Johnston, Hornby can try and get onto this. Vuskovic back to Semper. Maguire just standing off his man, but Croatia give the ball away themselves.
See, Johnson should just go back to the goalkeeper and keep possession rather than just playing the ball up the pitch.
It's a pretty rigid 4-4-1 that Croatia are playing now, as the ball is played inside. Glenn Middleton trying to use that pace to get on the inside of Bosco Sotalo.
See, what's happening now is what was happening in the first half with us. They can't hold the ball up. They can't get the ball into their strikers. They're just playing the ball anywhere.
Gilmour tries to feed the ball into the box. Billy Gilmour. but it's cleared. His first real chance of getting on the ball, a Chelsea youngster. Of course, came through the academy at Rangers, also part of the JD Performance School, along with a few other players in this squad as well. Nathan Patterson, Lewis Mayo, Brian Kinnear as well, 19-year-old Rangers goalkeeper who was included in the squad. Middleton.
See, Daniel Harvey and Campbell need to stay away, take the defenders away rather than being in there.
Middleton nearly cutting it back to Maguire at the edge of the box. And because that hits the referee, it will go back into the possession of Croatia.
Yeah, as I said, Daniel Harvey and Campbell have made that run out where Glenn's wanting to run in, so you're better just staying away and leave them one-on-one.
Well, there's going to be a double change for Croatia as well. Igor Biscan making his first moves. And it's going to be Kalenovic who comes off, the number 9, who couldn't add to his 6 goals at under-21 level.
Van Meyer, is it?
David Selina, the man coming on for him. And Lovro Meyer, who was really influential in Croatia's first goal. He's going to make way. And Petar Musa, the man coming on, Slavia Prague striker, who was actually the joint top scorer in the Czech top league last season with 14 goals. So he's certainly got a real threat about him.
He has, and they're looking now and thinking we'll need a goal because Scotland are putting us under so much pressure. And listen, even before they had the boys sent off, we got closer to them. We got on the ball more. We were more confident on the ball, and we were putting them under pressure. But obviously, since the boys sent off, it gives us more room to play, more room to have possession, and more room to try and get Billy on the ball.
Gilmour looking for that long switch out to Glenn Middleton. But it's hooked away by Satalo. Johnston. Good feet by George Johnston. He's just run into trouble. Morrow just unable to sort his feet out. Scotland back in possession. Gilmour. Johnston. Porteous. Maguire. And maybe Scott Gemmell will be looking for his players to get the ball forward at a bit more speed than this.
Listen, there's 20 minutes to go. We don't need to try and force it. We need to try and get Billy on the ball. We need to try and get Glenn and Connor in wide areas on the ball. That's where we're causing problems.
Harvey. Ball into the box, into a dangerous area. And it's a goal for Scotland. 2-2. And what a turnaround. This has been 2-0 down. And Scotland have managed to pull it back to 2-2. Conor McLennan, he did it earlier on in qualifying against Croatia. He came off the bench to get Scotland not only back level but ahead in that game, and he's had an impact today as well.
Yes, brilliant from Daniel Harvey, but it just shows you, and I understand why Scott went with the 2 wide boys in the first half, but it just shows you a forward-thinking player. He gets himself in at the back post, and it's a great strike. It's not an easy ball to take. He's coming onto his left foot, but he keeps it down. It's a wonderful strike.
Well, Conor McLennan, his 4th goal at under-21 level in just 8 appearances. The Aberdeen man making an impact once again for Scott Gemmell's side. Scotland back in this, and they'll fancy their chances to go on and get another against the 10 men of Croatia. Well, Billy Gilmour just being booked for...
Oh no.
It's a red card for Billy Gilmour. He's off. And Michael Fabry has sent off the Chelsea youngster. Well, there was a shoulder-to-shoulder challenge that he was...
No, I think it's what he said.
Yeah, well, there was a shoulder-to-shoulder challenge originally, and Billy Gilmour turned around and had a word with the referee. As we watch this again, just in the back, It was given away, and Gilmour wasn't happy. And whatever he said to Michael Fabri there, the Italian official thinks it's enough for a red card, a straight red card.
You would think it was probably bad language, foul and abusive language, but I mean it happens in the game. You hear bad language in the game all the time. Listen, that's what happens sometimes. They try, I'm not saying they deliberately even it up, but it's an easy decision.
Well, an unhappy return to the international scene for Billy Gilmour. Scotland levelling the scores, but soon after levelling the number of players on the pitch. 2-2 in scoreline, 10-10 in players, but still all to play for at Tynecastle.
Go on.
As Glenn Middleton gets forward into the box. Left-footed strike by Glenn Middleton, just drags it wide. Scotland still able to find space against this Croatian defence, as they have done at times in the second half.
Yeah, his pace again. I thought his decision making was poor there. No one was up on play. He could have just held it up, or he could have just gone direct in on goal. But this is an out ball. Glenn's definitely an out ball because Conor McLennan possibly need to sit in a little bit more, but Glenn will be an out ball.
Well, the momentum swung Scotland's way, but it's now anyone's game at Tynecastle. As Croatia look to come forward. It's one back. Middleton. Campbell. On the turn. Doing well to carry the ball forward. But his pass with the outside of the boot just wasn't able to stay in play.
Yeah, I thought you could have played that earlier. To Glenn, just give him it and let him run the boy.
Scotland win the ball back. Middleton. He's got Hornby with him. He goes for a strike. And Adrian Semper nearly throwing that into the back of his own net for the second time from a Glenn Middleton shot.
By the way, they should be looking to strike, have a shot on target all the time, because this goalkeeper's totally lost his confidence. That was an easy save for the goalkeeper. But it's confidence. We need to, as I said before, we need to try and get Glenn on the ball, isolate him with their right back.
Well, I'm sure Semper was a relieved man when he looked over his left shoulder to see that drop on the outside of the post. His mistake led to Scotland getting back in this at 2-1 from Glenn Middleton's strike, and it'll be Middleton to take this corner for Scotland. All the big men are up as Middleton delivers the flick on from Porteous and claims for handball. Referee Michael Fabri waves them away. Big calls as Porteous flicked that one on at the front post. Hornby out to Johnston, and it'll be a throw-in.
It was a big claim.
Middleton's ball in, the header on.
It's a hard one to see.
A few bodies in there.
This is where we need to put them under pressure.
Long throw from Barry Maguire. It's headed away at the front post and will just be cleared long towards Daniel Harvey. And flicked on by George Johnson, who got a nudge in the back.
He should go down there. He'll get a foul if he goes down, because the boy came through the back of him.
We have a look at this potential handball flicked on by Ryan Porteous. A big claim from the Hibs defender.
I think it has hit the boy's hand, yes. Now, whether we know what handballs are like nowadays, I don't think it was deliberate, but it doesn't have to be deliberate now.
Well, Michael Fabri said no, and play continues with Adrian Semper, who seems to have taken a bit of a confidence knock from his mistake earlier on in this half. Cleared by Harvey. A draw still keeps Scotland in a strong position going into the final match day. And it looks as if there will be a change for Croatia at the moment. Igor Biscan rolling the dice again.
Mihamic Nihamic.
Yeah, now Jasmic is the man to come off. His job is done for the day. As Hornby flicks the ball on. And even since both sides have been down to 10 men, Scotland have been the side that have looked more threatening.
They have, yes. It's confidence. It's confidence because they've got their 2 goals back. They're more in possession of the ball. They're feeling more confident in themselves. They're putting them under pressure. You see, when you put teams under pressure, they started kicking the ball away and giving us it back.
A late challenge by Ryan Porteous that he was booked for. And he's given Croatia a free kick in a dangerous position, quite central. But they'll look to get this one in the box, or possibly an ambitious effort from this range if he's thinking of having a go at goal.
He looks as though he's stepping up to have a go at goal, that's for sure.
Goes for the long distance strike. It looked as if it had a bit of movement on it, but easily dealt with by Ross Doohan.
Yeah, it's been good hands all day by Ross Doohan. Everything he's done, as I said, he's never been at fault for any of the goals, but everything else he's done has been very good.
McLennan back to McCrory. The Aberdeen teammates. Johnston to Campbell. And Doohan's just going to have to get that one clear, as Peter Musa was bearing down on him, and it goes from one goalkeeper to another.
Yeah, I mean, he was put under pressure. I'm not a big fan of passing the ball back from 10 yards inside your own half, and it puts the goalkeeper under pressure.
Vuskovic. Gets the ball back from Satalo. Over the top, and it's easily dealt with by Ryan Porteous. Back to Ross Doohan.
They're wanting Barry Maguire just to stay higher now on Morrow, so he can't start the game, so he can't get possession of the ball. And once we get it, then he's got to come up and try and stop him. And then that creates space in the middle of the park, because he's starting to chase about and losing his discipline a little bit.
Johnston. In for Middleton. Back to Johnston. Space for Maguire. And McCrory's got McLennan making the run in support, but it comes back inside to Barry Maguire. Great switch out to Daniel Harvey. And he was unlucky there, Daniel Harvey. You could see he had the idea, but he's won it back. And the back heel through to Alan Campbell. Middleton at the edge of the box, curls one. And this one gathered up by Adrian Semper. But you can see why he tried it.
You can see why he tried it, but I actually didn't think it was on. It was a great play from Daniel Harvey. He was very unlucky. Good imagination. I thought he could have laid it off to Maguire there. It was a comfortable save, but anything the goalkeeper's not comfortable.
Porteous just unable to keep that in on the near side. Just around 10 minutes left of this game to go at Tynecastle. And it's been all action, 4 goals, a red card for each side. Scotland coming back from 2 goals down. And you'd think there could well be a winner in this one.
Well, there's no doubt about it, and to be truthful, we look as though the one that's going to win. We're the ones that's trying to commit players forward. They seem quite happy with a draw.
Will Scotland stay above Croatia in the table? If it stays this way, Scotland would move to 18 points, Croatia on to 17, with 1 game left to play each.
Ross McCrory's just got to watch it. He's not edging forward too much, because Ryan Porteous was caught with 2 players there, and if they had won the ball, they were in.
Another double change for the visitors. And it's going to be Nicola Morrow coming off, the goal scorer of their first goal, and Nevin Jurasek comes on for him.
The second goal scorer, Bisovic.
And Bistrovic is off as well. Three changes made by Scott Gilmour so far in this game. As Croatia past the halfway line. And it's a throw into Scotland, despite the protests of Marin Sverko. Daniel Harvey to take this one. Well, plenty to look forward to after this game as well. First of all, for the Under-21s, back in action. Their final group game takes place next week against Greece. And you can watch that on Premier Sport. 4 o'clock kickoff on Tuesday. Scotland potentially being able to wrap up a first major tournament appearance since 1996. And tonight it's the big one for the senior side as well. Steve Clarke's Scotland up against Serbia. Will Scotland make it to next summer's Euros? You can watch that one live on Sky Sports, Sky One and Sky Pick. 7:45 kickoff in Belgrade. A nation awaits. McLennan dragged back there. That's surely going to be a yellow card. And it is.
Substitutions have really made an impact. We tried to keep it tight in the first half, and it didn't. Obviously, it didn't work. But the two boys that went off did really well. Worked very, very hard, and it gave the two boys that have come on a chance to try and be more positive.
And space over on this side. Sitalo flicks it back, and Musa getting in behind. The cross cleared by Ryan Porteous, and Fraser Hornby using his bodies well but just unable to stay on his feet.
Yeah, he's unlucky there. He does really well. Two big strong boys up against each other fighting for the ball. He did really well. He was just unlucky that he slipped.
Sitalo clips the ball in. Ross McCrory dealing with it, and Middleton hooking the ball away into a bit of a dangerous area, but Barry Maguire managed to head away. I think it has been a bit of a frustrating game so far for Fraser Hornby up top. His last club appearance was quite a while ago. And what an opposition. Paris Saint-Germain it was he was up against, but not playing regularly since his move to France.
No, that would be the disappointment. He's obviously thinking leaving Everton, going playing first team football, and the lack of first team football must be frustrating for him. So this must be great for him to come here, but he will be frustrated today. I don't think the quality's been, some of his movements not been great, but I don't think the quality into him's been fantastically well. But one thing, he's worked his socks off, and he's given his all.
George Johnson to line up this free kick just inside the Scotland half. He tries to pick out Conor McLennan. It's headed away by Gvardiol. Porteous just beaten to it, but George Johnson will win that back and send it all the way back to Ross Doohan. Just over 4 minutes of regular time to play. A massive 3 points at stake. McLennan. The switch out to Daniel Harvey. He does well to not only take it down but keep it in play. Middleton. He's being pressured into that corner. Wins the throw in. Glenn Middleton.
Yeah, that's fine. Just get something out of it. A long throw. Get the two centre halves up again. Make sure you're alert for the second ball.
They've not quite come off for Scotland, these long throws so far, but it just takes one of them into a dangerous area. Takes a nick off someone.
Yes, as I say, you have to react to the second ball. The goalkeeper looks as though he's wanting to come for it. Now quality from Daniel Harvey. He's in at the back stick.
McCrory's at the back stick. Just over the bar from Ross McCrory. A good delivery by Daniel Harvey, but the skipper just unable to keep that header down as Glenn Middleton commits a foul.
That's a poor foul from the referee. There's nothing in that. But another good ball from Daniel Harvey, and then you've got McCrory coming into the back post. We're definitely going for the winner. Oh, he's offside.
The ball over the top. The official on the near side raises his flag, and Scotland will have a free kick. The clock just ticking its way down. Both sides looking for that final chance that could well open up a valuable 3 points in this penultimate match day of these Euro 2021 qualifiers.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes to go plus injury. There's definitely another couple of chances in here.
Well, Darren, plenty of action to pick through today. Who is your BT man of the match?
Well, I'm going to go for Glenn Middleton. I think he's made such an impact since he's come on, obviously getting the goal. I think he's done exceptionally well. He's caused problems for their defence with his pace and, as I say, with his ability. So my man of the match is Glenn Middleton.
45 minutes of action for Glenn Middleton, and a goal to show for it as well. McLennan being forced into the corner, and it's good defending in the end. McLennan just unable to swivel and get the ball into the box.
Yeah, you can hear the coaching staff stay high so they can't play out for the back.
Semper forced to go long. And Croatia now with a free kick in the Scotland half. Maybe a final chance to launch this one in towards Ross Doohan. See if they've got any players that can cause problems.
Yeah, they're taking their time. They look as though they're happy with the point. Yeah, I would keep McClellan up. Brilliant.
Ross Doohan gathers easily.
Yeah, great goalkeeping there. Very, very assured. Knew what he was wanting to do right from the boy when the boy played it.
Well, this is when you want to be in possession. Not long to go now. The fourth official ready to put up his board to tell us how much injury time there's going to be. As Ross McCrory prepares to take a throw in. Just in front of the main stand here at Tynecastle. Five minutes added for this one. Scotland 2, Croatia 2. Will that change in the final 5 minutes? Will someone make themselves a hero?
Well, we've got heroes out there, we've got goal scorers out there, so we've got a chance. He looked offside there.
And the ball threaded through, adjudged to be onside. Tries to play it across the face of goal. Good defending in the end, but it was Spikic in there that had to be shut down by Alan Campbell.
Yeah, it's great defending from Alan Campbell. He's not committed himself. He's waited till he's played the ball. Yeah, great defending.
Jurasek to take. Doohan thought about coming for it, and it was Petar Musa at the back post who was unable to direct that back towards goal. A smart decision in the end from Ross Doohan not to come all the way out for that.
Yes, it was. Again, very experienced goalkeeper, and he saw the flight off the ball. He knew he wasn't going to get there, so he just stayed in his goal line.
Yet to feature for the Celtic first team, Ross Doohan, but has plenty of experience out on loan. A couple of loan spells at Ayr United, and of course at Ross County this campaign. And a chance for Ross McCrory to throw this one in on the far side. You can see Peter Houston in the background just screaming at the players, making sure they're all doing their job in these final stages.
Oh, the ref, the linesman was going to give it to us. Oh, the referee's assistant, sorry.
Just over 3 minutes left at Tynecastle. Porteous with the header. Hornby, good strength by Fraser Hornby. Maguire nudge in the back, but no foul. It's good defensive play, but Glenn Middleton's given it away, trying to turn, but it is a foul.
I thought Barry Maguire could have come out the other side there, because Daniel Harvey and Glenn Middleton were there and we were on the attack.
Well, Glenn Middleton was just kicked through the back of there as he tried to turn. About 35 yards from his own goal. Ross Doohan will have to send this one long. It's directed towards Fraser Hornby, who wins it, but there's no one able to get on that second ball. McCrory. McLennan trying to flick it round the corner, but Gvardiol does really well to get past McLennan there and finds the pass at the end of it. But it's won back by Alan Campbell, but handball.
I think it was.
The Motherwell midfielder left frustrated.
Gvardiol's an excellent player. He's been fantastic tonight.
A lot of high-profile European clubs linked with him in the summer. Gvardiol ended up moving to RB Leipzig in the Bundesliga. We'll come forward here, but it's well won at the back, and a chance for Porteous to go forward. Fraser Hornby just went too early.
I thought Ryan could have passed the ball a little bit earlier.
And it could well be end-to-end stuff for the final minute of this game. Scotland and Croatia both pushing for a winner. Franjic. McCrory will deal with that. Hornby not adjudged to have been fouled. Franjic did jump over him. It will be a free kick to Scotland. And George Johnson just goes down. He's seen a lot of the ball, George Johnson.
Yeah, he's getting told to get up sharp. This looks as though it could be the last attack.
Ross Doohan standing over the ball. 10 seconds left at Tynecastle. McLennan on the turn, unable to keep it in, and the full-time whistle goes at Hampden. A 2-2 draw played out by the side. Scotland coming back from 2-0 down. Another comeback against Croatia, but ultimately left frustrated because when they got back level, they had a real chance, but a red card for Billy Gilmour changed the complexion of the game once again. It was 10 men against 10 men. Scotland unable to find the breakthrough, but they do move on to 18 points. And a win against Greece next week would be so crucial. Tuesday for that game. But what a tie this was today, Darren.
Yeah, it was a great game. First half, listen, you could say it was disappointing because the boys didn't look as though they believed in themselves, didn't get close to them, didn't make the tackle, didn't get on the ball and keep possession like we know what they can, and they caused us problems down down their right side, and that's where both goals came from. But listen, fair play to the coaching staff. They knew what they wanted to do. They brought the two wide boys on, and especially Glenn coming on at half time, causing problems, scoring the goal, and it definitely changed the game. But their sending off, I thought we could have capitalised. The referees, obviously Billy said something to him, and that was probably hugely disappointing for us.
Well, let's have a look back at the key moments in this one between Scotland and Croatia. It was Croatia who opened the scoring in the first half, and it was the captain Morrow who got on the end of this cross by Lovro Mayer, cut inside, and a tidy finish at the near post.
It's a great finish. As I said, Ross McCrory maybe just been caught in too much, but he sees the striker there and he comes in. They both miss it, cuts inside, and it's a great finish.
Well, nice play by Lovro Mayer here. Danced his way inside. Dangerous looking ball. It came off Ross McCrory, and the near post finish, and then it looked a long way back for Scotland after this. The ball over the top, Scotland unable to deal with, and as it came to the edge of the box, it was laid off for Bistrovic, and a fantastic strike by the midfielder to put Croatia 2-0 up. And at that point, you did fear for Scott Gemmell's men.
Yeah, it's a great run from Sitalo from right back. They had worked at the area well to empty the area so he could get in there, and it's a great ball. It's not a lot. It's a long pass. It's not a long ball up the pitch, and he takes a great touch. He's cutting inside for himself, but Bistrovic is just a wonderful finish.
Well, it was all about the substitutes after that for Scotland. The first of those, Glenn Middleton, who came on at half time, skipped by his man. The strike probably shouldn't have found its way back into the net, but Adrian Semper with the mistake, and Scotland are back in the game.
Yeah, you see Glenn gets the ball first, plays it to McCrory but doesn't stand, gets himself in the box, comes inside on his stronger left foot, and listen, I've said all the time the goalkeeper should save it, but you don't shoot, you don't score, and it's got us back in the game.
That gave Scotland a real boost, and then what gave them an even bigger boost was when Sosa was sent off. A good challenge by Ryan Porteous, but Sosa, frustrated, he bundled into the back of Porteous, and then the kick when the two of them went to ground. The referee had no choice but to send them off. Scotland had clawed it back to 2-1, and then were a man up at this point.
Yeah, I mean it was poor from him.
And then another substitute, Conor McLennan. It was good play by Daniel Harvey originally down the left hand side. Dangerous ball into the box, and Conor McLennan first time into the bottom corner, completing the comeback at 2-2.
Yeah, that's where we got our most joy, down our left side. They're right back with obviously Glenn and Daniel Harvey. It's a great ball. One of the times he picked Barry Maguire out, the keeper's had a great save, but his run here committed the boy and put a great ball into the box. You just tell them to put it's up to the strikers to get in there. And by the way, it's a great finish from Conor McLellan.
All the momentum was going Scotland's way, but a red card for Billy Gilmour, back from injury. Gave away a foul there. Wasn't happy with Michael Fabri's decision. He made Michael Fabri know about it, and the Italian referee wasn't happy with what was said to him and gave Billy Gilmour an early bath, a red card for the Chelsea youngster. And at that point, the game played itself out.
Yeah, Billy will be disappointed. It's obviously, you can only think it's foul and abusive language, which it's a straight red, and he'll miss the game during the week, which will be disappointing for Billy because all he wants to do is get on that pitch. He's missed a lot of football, so I mean I think the coaching staff and Billy will be disappointed with that.
Well, thank you all for joining us. That's it for us in Edinburgh. The Under-21s now fly to Greece for the final qualifier on Tuesday, and you're able to watch that on Premier Sports. The senior squad are, of course, in action tonight, and what a massive game. We hope you'll be cheering on the boys as we look to clinch qualification for Euro 2020. Remember, you can watch this live and for free on Pick, as well as being available on Sky One and Sky Sports Football. Come on, Scotland.